Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a horse. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. An easy way to draw a circle is to first make a couple of small marks to indicate the circle's height, and then on the sides make a couple more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then just connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. You don't have to draw a perfect circle, but if you're having trouble drawing one, just trace the outer edge of a lid, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. To the right, draw another circle as a guide for the back portion of the body. Make the two circles roughly the same size. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. At the top, draw another circle as a guide for the head. Use the small marks method to draw this circle as well. Make this circle about 1/3 the size of the first circle. Don't place this circle too high up or the neck will be too long. Inside the head circle, draw a curved horizontal line for a construction guide. Draw another long vertical line close to the left edge of the circle for another construction guide. The bottom of this line should extend down below the circle. At the bottom of the vertical guide, make a small mark for the first part of the muzzle. Connect the small mark to the circle using curved lines to create the guide for the muzzle. On top of the head, draw two small triangular shapes as guides for the ears. Draw the ears high up on the head. Under the front part of the body, draw a long angled line as a guide for the front leg. Slope this line down and to the left. Bend the line a couple of times to indicate the joints. Make the line long in relation to the body. To the left, draw a shorter angled line as a guide for the other front leg. Draw this line going to the left and then bend it down, and then at the bottom bend it to the right. Under the back portion of the body, draw another long angled line as a guide for the hind leg. Bend this line a couple of times near the middle to indicate the joint. To the left, draw another angled line as a guide for the other hind leg. Connect the head to the body using curved lines to create the guide for the neck. The line on the right should be longer and more curved. On the right side of the body, draw a long wavy line as a guide for the tail. Curve the tip of this line up. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye above the horizontal construction guide and to the right of the vertical guide. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the lines. Draw a long curved line at the top. Draw a curved line above the eye for the eyelid. Inside the eye, draw a short horizontal line for the pupil. Draw a couple of curved lines above the eye for the thick brow. Draw a short angled line near the left edge of the head circle for the outer edge of the other eye. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the line when you get the shape right. Draw this line between the horizontal construction guide and the ear on the left. Draw a couple of short lines for the eyelashes. Most of this eye won't be visible because the head is turned. On the bottom left side of the muzzle, draw a short angled line for the outer edge of the first nostril. Draw a short curved line for the nostril's opening. Add a shorter line for the inner edge of the nostril. To the right of the vertical guide, draw a few more short curved lines for the other nostril. The outer edge of the nostril should be similar to a circle. The nostril should be big in relation to the muzzle. Draw a curved line below the nostrils for the front of the muzzle. Follow the basic path of the guide as you draw this line. Draw a curved line on the top right side. Draw a shorter curved line on the bottom right side for the lower lip. Use the triangular shape on the top right side of the head as a guide to draw the ear. Draw a wavy line inside for the ear's opening. To the left of the ear, draw a few short curved lines for the front part of the mane. Don't draw every individual hair strand, just draw the front of the mane as a big curved shape. Draw a curved line at the bottom for the lower edge of the mane. Darken the triangular shape on the left to create the other ear. Use the other shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the head. Draw a curved line below the eye on the left for the edge of the head. Darken the line above the nostril for the top of the muzzle. Darken the guides on the right side for the bottom edge of the head. Curve the line on the right for the jaw. Add a few more lines within the head to emphasize its shape. Use the second line from the left that's under the body as a guide to draw the front leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. Make the top of the leg wide and gradually make it thinner toward the bottom. Draw a small square-like shape at the very bottom for the hoof. Bend the lines along the path of the guide to create the joints. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. Curve the lines as you darken them to create the muscle structure. Near the middle, draw a circular shape for the joint. The top of the leg should be inside the body. At the bottom, keep the edges of the leg close to the guide so that the shape is thin. Draw another circular shape near the bottom for another joint. Darken the square-like shape at the bottom for the hoof. Make the bottom of the hoof curved. Use the angled line on the left as a guide to draw the other front leg. First, sketch the shape of the leg around the guide. The wide top part of the leg will be hidden behind the body. Draw a small square-like shape at the bottom for the hoof. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. Curve the lines as you darken them to create the muscle structure. Add small circular shapes where the leg bends for the joints. Draw a small square-like shape at the bottom for the hoof. Make the area between the hoof and joint thin. Use the long angled line on the far right side as a guide to draw the hind leg. Just like with the front legs, first lightly sketch the hind leg around the guideline. Make the top of the leg wider than the bottom. When you get the shape of the hind leg right, darken the lines. Where the shape bends, draw circular shapes for the joints. Make the bottom of the leg thin. Draw a small square-like shape at the bottom for the hoof. Use the angled line to the left as a guide to draw the other hind leg the same way. Lightly sketch the leg around the guide and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. Curve the lines to create the muscle structure and joints. Add the hoof at the bottom as a small square-like shape. Use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the body. Simply darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the body. Make the lines more curved as you darken them to create the muscle structure. Draw the top edge of the back portion of the body using two curved lines. Draw the underside of the body using a long curved line. Draw the mane on the right side of the neck using a series of curved lines. Don't draw every individual hair strand, just draw a series of curved lines for the overall shape of the mane. Follow the slope of the neck as you draw these curved lines. Draw the curved lines going in different directions to indicate the wind going through the mane. Use the wavy line on the right side of the body as a guide to draw the tail. Just like with the mane, draw a series of curved lines around the guide to create the overall shape of the tail. The curved lines create different clumps of hair. Make the tips of the shapes pointy. Now erase the initial guidelines. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Now shade your drawing. You can shade your drawing however you'd like. For this look, use a medium value across the body and a darker value for the mane and tail. Leave a thin section blank on the front of the head for a stripe. Shade lightly at first and gradually build up to darker values. For light values, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for darker values. As you shade, leave a few thin sections blank to create highlights on the shiny coat. Add shadows across the body using a darker value. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Slowly and gradually add a darker value across the body. Use the dark value to shade the tail, but leave a few thin sections blank for highlights. Add a series of short vertical lines across the bottom to create a grass-like texture. Go over the final lines again to emphasize the shapes. Keep shading until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the horse. Remember to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com for more tutorials. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. Let me know in the comments what else you want to see me draw. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.